Well, crowds are gathering in Brazil's capital for the inauguration of President-elect Inacio Lula da Silva. The leftist politician won his third term in office back in October, beating the former president, Jair Bolsonaro, by less than 2%. Bolsonaro has left the country and has yet to recognize Lula's victory. Tens of thousands of supporters have been arriving in Brasilia for the inauguration ceremony. Delegations from 50 countries will also attend, including Germany's President Frank-Walter Steinmeier. And our correspondent, Nicole Luiz, is standing by at Lula's inauguration in Brasilia. Nicole, what is the mood like? Are people celebrating?
Indeed, they are celebrating. I'm at Palacio Planalto, and in front of it there are crowds of thousands of Lula supporters. And they have been there yesterday already, singing and celebrating, all dressed in red and raising their flags. In the meantime, I also have observed the arrival of some state leaders. For example, Gustavo Petro, the Colombian president, is already around the area, and we're just waiting for Lula to make his appearance as well. And this all comes as security is boosted to the maximum as well. Obviously, the crowds need a proper security system here. Just a week ago, there was a bomb planted by a Bolsonaro supporter. So that was one first threat. And yesterday, they also found somebody who tried to plant a bomb device here closer in the area. So security is on high alert, but the mood at the moment is relaxed and cheerful, I would say.
Well, Lula, of course, is no stranger to Brazilian politics. This is going to be his third term, so not consecutive term, but third term nonetheless. What can Brazil expect from his presidency this time?
Well, Lula has promised that he will tackle poverty in the country, and it's quite different from back then when he was president. And now we have seen a plunge in inflation last year of up to 12%. Many people live in very deep poverty here, so this is one of his main things to address. There is a study saying that the number of people who cannot access food has risen from 6 to 16% only in the last years. Then, of course, there is the Amazon rainforest that he also wants to address. He wants to protect it more. And then he needs to unify this country because he only won by a very slim margin of 1.8%. So people need to be convinced that he really can do the job again. I talked to some people on the streets here of Brasilia, so let's take a listen to what they said.
I think this is not what Brazilians would want, but he won the election fair and square. So the right lost, the left is back. We hope that they can become a good government in their first year.
The most important issue is that he delivers everything he promised, because he gave his word. If he does, then he deserves to be where he is. The presidency.
I am not ready for this. No, I'm not. I'm not going to lie. I don't like it. It should be Bolsonaro again. I voted for Bolsonaro. So let's see how this new government is going to be. There was a lot of stealing, but Brazilians continue to vote for Lula.
Okay, well, Nicole, you mentioned it yourself. I mean, Lula won only by a very small margin, so there are clearly many people who have a lot of reservations about Lula. Can you tell us more about why that is?
Well, for one thing, although Lula has been president in the past, he also has gone to prison for corruption, and although after 18 months he was released, this of course sticks with many people still. On the other hand, when I asked people on the streets, they also said, well, actually all the politicians have some story that sticks to them. And they most of the time have to do with corruption. So they have to choose between one bad choice and the other, they say, you know. But I think this prison sentence that he received back then really has stuck in some people's minds. And that's why they might tend to prefer Bolsonaro. And it's also probably a choice of sides. Bolsonaro is from the right wing and Lula is more of a leftist leader. So that makes also some decision making there.
DW's correspondent Nicole Rees for us in Brasilia. Nicole, thank you.